What if the difference between being forgettable and being magnetic starts in the first 10 seconds before you even speak, in the way your breathing slows your pulse and your eyes hold a fraction longer than usual? If you are tired of recycled advice that tells you to be confident without explaining how, then stay with me because you are about to learn 5 rare field-tested techniques drawn from behavioral science, persuasion research, evolutionary psychology, and timeless Stoic practice that quietly switch on attraction without theatrics, gimmicks, or games. I'm not going to give you stories. I will talk to you directly, man to man, as if we were sharpening your instincts in real time. By the end, you will know exactly what to say, how to move, and what to avoid so you do not sabotage the connection you want. Keep your attention here. I will drop a precise one-sentence pattern you can use in any conversation to generate tension, followed by relief, the rhythm that attraction feeds on, and it will be near the end. So listen carefully and notice how each technique builds to that line. Begin with the only thing you truly control: your state. Every study worth trusting on nonverbal influence, from classic persuasion research to modern psychophysiology, converges on one core fact: your nervous system sets the tone before your words do. The first technique is grounded magnetism. You create it by stacking 3 micro-habits that take less than 30 seconds and change everything about how you are perceived. First, extend your exhale to a silent count of 5 as you breathe out through your nose. Longer exhales increase vagal tone and steady your voice. Second, place your weight slightly on mid-foot, unlock your knees, let your shoulders hang heavy, and imagine a thread lifting the crown of your head. This is posture without pretense. It communicates self-ownership. Third, hold a soft half smile you could keep for an hour and use the eye contact triangle: left eye, right eye, lips, then back to the eyes, moving at a calm tempo. This prevents the predator stare and replaces it with attentive warmth. When you walk into a room or approach a woman, do these 3 in sequence before any words come out. You are telegraphing a message she reads in a blink. This man regulates himself. That, more than any line, is the foundation of desire. Now direct that state with intent. The second technique is intent stacking, a conversational structure that moves from curiosity to competence to chemistry without performing or selling yourself. Think of it as the opposite of trying too hard. You are not proving value, you are revealing it step by step. Start with curiosity by using an observation-based opener that names something specific, neutral, and present moment. The brain pays attention to what is concrete and immediate. You can say, "You've got a focused look like you are under a deadline. What are you solving?" Or, "Your playlist choice tells me you like lyrics you can't ignore. What's the current favorite?" Notice what is happening. You are not complimenting appearance. You are reading context and inviting a reveal. From curiosity, step into competence by adding a brief, relevant contribution in your reply that signals you have a life with structure, standards, and momentum. Keep it short. "I do early workouts because my mornings decide my day," or "I batch my creative work, then I get social at night." One sentence is enough. Do not lecture, do not monologue, do not pivot to a self-promo speech. The final layer is chemistry. You create it by offering a frame that suggests the two of you could share a micro-experience now or soon. "I'm grabbing a matcha in 10. Join for 5 if you want a quick taste test." Or, "I'm making a 2-song trading game. You give me one I don't know, I'll trade you one you've never played." Curiosity opens the door. Competence assures her that stepping through is safe and interesting, and chemistry invites motion. You guide, you do not chase. You will destroy attraction if your energy is out of sync with hers, so the third technique is calibration in motion. This is not the cliché of copying gestures. This is precision mirroring based on pacing, then leading. Your rule is simple: match first, then invite. Pay attention to tempo, tone, and territory. Tempo is how fast she takes turns in conversation. If her words are deliberate with pauses, you slow down your interjections and widen your silences. If her tempo is quick and musical, you trim filler and respond with crisp staccato replies. Tone is emotional color. If her tone is playful, you meet it with lightness. If it is analytical, you meet it with structure. Territory is space. If she leans in, you hold your ground and allow the closeness. If she leans back, you give her the oxygen to feel comfortable. After matching those 3 for about a minute, you lead with a subtle shift. Slightly lower your voice at the end of a sentence, Trim your words even more and introduce a playful challenge or a micro-decision. Tea or coffee? One song or two? Window seat or aisle? Leadership at this scale is what influence researchers call a low-friction choice. You are guiding attention without pressure. When she accepts one small lead, a second, larger lead becomes natural. That is the essence of pacing and leading done right. Let's strip away one of the biggest myths. Endless attention does not create attraction. Appropriately scarce attention combined with clear boundaries does. The fourth technique is strategic scarcity through boundaries. And it is not a trick. It is ethical self-respect, and paradoxically, it is one of the strongest attraction triggers. Cialdini's work on scarcity explains why people value what is less available. But in relationships, the honest form of scarcity is a schedule, a mission, and standards that do not bend just because you like someone. When you stop being available for anything at any time, you force quality to replace quantity. Practice this with exact lines that remove ambiguity. If you are wrapping up a conversation while it is still warm, you say, "I like this, and I have to go in too. Walk me to the corner." If you are texting, you communicate cadence. "I don't live on my phone, so I batch replies. If you need a quick answer, call." If you are invited to something low effort at the last minute, you reply, "Short notice and low intention are not my thing. Let's plan something that deserves our time." You are not punishing anyone. You are signaling that your time is a curated space. This is the adult version of the hard-to-get trope, and it works not because it plays games, but because it shows you are a man who protects his focus. The indirect result is desire, because desire follows value, and value follows what is protected. At this point, you are calm, intentional, calibrated, and boundaried. Now you need the spark that turns a good conversation into charged chemistry. The fifth technique is tension-release rhythm. Attraction is not built in a straight line, it is built in waves. Too much tension with no relief feels aggressive. Too much relief with no tension feels dull. You create the right wave by pairing a playful pressure with a warm release, always within respect. The formula is simple. Tease, pause, soften. Tease does not mean insult. It means lightly challenging a choice, a habit, or a preference that she can easily own and joke about. You might say, "You look like the type who pretends to hate early mornings but secretly guards a 6 a.m. routine." Or, "You probably have a no-skip song you deny when it comes on." Then you pause. Hold a beat. Let the moment hang. Finally, soften with a smile and an invitation to reveal, "Am I close?" Or, "Prove me wrong." The tease introduces micro-tension. The pause amplifies it, and the softener releases it into laughter, banter, or connection. Do not rush to fill silence. Silence is where the chemistry turns on. Now that you have the 5 pillars, here is how to execute them in sequence the moment you meet a woman you want to know. Before you speak, do the grounded magnetism stack. Long exhale, posture set, eye contact triangle, half smile. Approach with a body angle at 45 degrees rather than head-on. This is friendlier and less intrusive. Open with an observation that links to something you can participate in. You're clearly on a mission. I'm voting it involves caffeine. Then you wait. When she answers, you run intent stacking. You ask one question based on what she actually said, then offer a one-sentence glimpse into your structured life. You do not over-explain. You watch her tempo, tone, and territory to calibrate. If she speeds up, you match and lead to a micro-decision. Quick taste test, 10 minutes, making the decision binary. You hold your boundaries. If she is vague or non-committal, you gracefully exit with, "Good meeting you. I'm heading out." And you mean it. If she is engaged, you initiate the tension release rhythm. A playful challenge, a pause, then a softener. This is the loop you repeat, always with warmth, never with pressure. The interaction will feel like a dance, not a sales pitch. Confidence without ethics is manipulation, so here is your ethical frame. Attraction research and seduction literature converge on 3 universal signals women look for, even if they phrase them differently: safety, status, and spark. Safety is not only physical, it is emotional predictability and respect. You communicate safety by asking for consent in small ways early. "Join me for 5. Shall we walk? I'm comfortable over there. Come if you want." Status is not money or loudness, it is self-governance. You communicate status when your schedule is real, your mission is visible, and your standards are calm and consistent. Spark is tension release rhythm. None of this requires deception. In fact, deception kills it, because incongruence bleeds through your voice and eyes. So you work on congruence, saying what you do and doing what you say in small ways repeatedly. That is the most attractive signal a man can send. Language is your instrument, so let me give you lines you can use right now that obey these principles without sounding canned. To initiate curiosity, you've got decisive energy. What are you choosing between? Or, I'm trying to guess your taste by your shoes. Am I way off? To display competence without bragging, I keep my evenings free for friends, daytime is all deep work, or I trade screen time for workouts in the morning. To invite chemistry, I'm doing a 2-stop coffee experiment, join me for one, or I'm testing a new bakery, it's a 10-minute detour. To set boundaries with warmth, I have to roll in 3, but I'd like to continue, walk me to the light, or I don't do last minute, but I'm down to plan something intentional. To create tension release. You look like you judge people by their bookmarks. Pause, smile. How wrong am I? Deliver each line like a statement of fact, not a question mark seeking approval. Your tone is the message. Understand the 3 mistakes that silently repel attraction so you can avoid them before they happen. The first mistake is performing approval-seeking humor that puts you beneath the frame. When you crack jokes that beg for laughter, you communicate a hidden request. Validate me. Replace it with playful assertions that hold your ground. The second mistake is over-investing before she is invested. You deliver walls of text, instant availability, and endless favors. In persuasion terms, you are trying to buy compliance with effort. Attraction does not work that way. Keep your efforts proportional to her investment. The third mistake is hiding behind abstract conversation about vague concepts because you are afraid of revealing preference. Speak in specifics: what you cook, when you train, where you relax, the book you are finishing. Specifics anchor you in reality and make you memorable. If you feel the urge to show off, switch to curiosity and ask a question that helps her reveal herself. Your voice is a tool most men never study. Record yourself reading a paragraph and notice 2 things: your baseline pitch and your cadence. Attraction thrives when your pitch drops slightly at the end of sentences, and your cadence includes intentional pauses. You can practice this by reading any text and lowering your final syllable by a small step. Avoid rising inflections unless you are asking a question. Rising tones communicate uncertainty. Read aloud daily for 5 minutes, then speak to people as if you were reading. Calm, measured, grounded. It will feel strange at first, then it will become your default. Your presence is shaped by your attention hygiene. The person who cannot pay attention cannot create chemistry. Train your focus with a simple drill. When someone speaks, listen for their nouns and verbs, then reflect a distilled version back. If she says, "I've been juggling a product launch with marathon training," you reply, "You're launching and training," which is harder to maintain. This does 2 things. It shows you heard her, and it steers the conversation to decisions and priorities, where attraction lives. People bond over values revealed through choices, not over random facts. If you are approaching in real-world settings, respect context. Daytime venues reward low intensity, brief interactions, and clear exits. Nighttime venues tolerate more energy and longer exchanges. In a cafe, you approach with a soft observation, invite a quick micro-experience, then exit on your own terms. In a lounge or social event, you approach with a playful assumption, banter, and escalate to a walk to a quieter corner if she is engaged. Always be ready to leave early. Leaving early while the energy is high is one of the strongest attraction builders, because it creates an unfinished loop in the mind, what psychologists call the Zeigarnik effect, the tendency to remember incomplete tasks. Use it ethically. Depart while it is good, not to manipulate, but to protect your standards and your time. Style matters, but not in the way magazines tell you. Your clothing should do 3 things: echo your frame, signal your tribe, and simplify your life. Echo your frame means your clothes should follow the lines of your body without squeezing it. If you are training, your silhouette reflects that. Signal your tribe means wear one element that reveals your world. Boots and a work shirt if you build, sleek sneakers and a minimal watch if you design, a leather band if you ride, a book in your hand if you read. Simplify your life means build a uniform you can wear variations of without thinking. Decision fatigue kills presence. When your wardrobe runs itself, your mind is free to connect. Your body language must honor the principle of open but contained. Open means your chest is not collapsed, your hands are visible, and your feet are angled to include but not trap. Contained means your gestures are within your frame, never spraying outward in nervous energy. Practice speaking with your hands at navel height, fingers relaxed, palms occasionally visible. Combine this with stillness during listening and purposeful movement when you speak. The contrast becomes compelling. Calm silence, then decisive expression. Touch should never be assumed. It should be invited by context and consent. Early touch, if at all, is functional and brief. Handshake, a light guide around an obstacle, a high five after a shared joke. You are not escalating for the sake of escalating. You are calibrating to her comfort. A simple rule: if she initiates light touch, you can reciprocate and hold for a fraction longer. If she does not, you let time and trust do the work. The people who rush touch without permission are the ones who need tricks. You will not be that man. Texting is a tool, not a habitat. Use it to set up real moments, not to simulate them. Your messages should be light, specific, and purpose-driven. Avoid asking, "How's your day?" which is a tax. Instead, send a micro-invitation anchored in reality. Trying a new taco spot Thursday, 6 sharp. 2 seats? Want one? If she declines twice without offering an alternative, you move on. Scarcity saves you. If she accepts, you confirm once, then stop texting. Anticipation grows in silence. If you sense anxiety, do not hide it or bulldoze it. A Stoic understands that emotion is information, not instruction. Acknowledge it internally. My heart rate is up. Good. I am alive. Then return to your breath and your body. Anxiety tends to vanish when you act in alignment with your values. Your values, not your mood, decide your behavior. If it is right to approach, you approach. If it is right to leave, you leave. The paradox is this: the more you live by this discipline, the less anxious you become, because your self-respect no longer depends on outcomes. Here is a quick calibration drill you can practice today to make every interaction smoother. Stand in front of a mirror and choose a neutral sentence like, "I'm grabbing coffee." Say it 3 ways: rushed and high-pitched, neutral, slow, and grounded. Watch your face and throat. Feel what calm actually feels like. Then add eye contact practice. Look at your left eye in the mirror, then your right eye, then your mouth, then back to the eyes, while speaking slowly. This conditions the eye contact triangle and a relaxed jaw. Add a timer. Hold a pause for 1 second before your last word. That single beat will change the energy of your delivery. Now back to the promise I made at the start. The 1-sentence pattern that reliably creates tension followed by relief. Use this when the conversation is warm and you want to turn the dial a little higher without overstepping. You say, "I think you're a little dangerous in the best way." Then you pause for a heartbeat, hold the half smile, and add, "which is exactly why this is interesting." The first clause creates a playful, positive challenge. The pause invites the moment to stretch. The second clause releases the tension into an affirming frame. You are not labeling her negatively. You are framing her as someone with edge and charm. And you are declaring your interest without begging. Deliver it calmly. If she lights up, continue with a micro-invitation. If she deflects, you let it go and switch back to curiosity. Remember the meta principle that unifies everything you have learned. Attractive men simplify. They simplify their state with breath and posture. They simplify their intent by moving from curiosity to competence to chemistry. They simplify calibration by matching tempo, tone, and territory before leading. They simplify desire by using boundaries to protect their time. They simplify spark by riding tension and release, never clinging to either. Simplicity is hard to fake because it is the signature of a man who has done the work. If you want a practice plan for the next 7 days, here it is. Day 1. Record yourself reading for 5 minutes, lower your final syllables, and practice the eye contact triangle with the half smile. Day 2. Write 5 observation openers you can use in your natural environments: gym, cafe, bookstore, evening walk, and deliver them to strangers just to practice presence, not to get a number. Day 3, schedule your week with 2 blocks for social time and resist the urge to fill the rest with impulsive availability. This trains your boundaries. Day 4, run the calibration drill. Match tempo, tone, and territory in 3 interactions, then lead with a low-friction choice. Day 5, practice the tension release pattern with a friend so it feels natural, then use it once in a real conversation. Day 6, audit your wardrobe and strip it to a simple uniform you can reproduce without thinking. Day 7, take yourself on a solo date, no phone, to practice being interesting without input. A man who can entertain himself is a man who never begs attention. There is one more mindset shift you need if you want this to stick. Stop trying to be chosen. Start choosing. Choosing does not mean coldly ranking people. It means defining the qualities you respect and then interacting in a way that reveals whether those qualities are present. Curiosity reveals intellect and taste. Boundaries reveal respect and responsibility. Playful tension reveals capacity for joy. Calibration reveals emotional intelligence. When you guide a conversation through these gates, you are evaluating as much as you are attracting. That is the quiet power you have been missing. Everything you have heard today is designed to be used immediately. The next time you catch yourself hesitating, remember, you are not auditioning, you are discovering. Breathe out slowly, set your posture, walk in at an angle, observe something real, invite a micro-experience, match tempo, lead with a small choice, tease without insult, pause, soften, and go. If it flows, you escalate time together within your boundaries. If it does not, you exit with grace and you keep your day moving. Attraction rewards the man who combines calm control with warm openness. That is you now, if you choose it. Take this with you as you close this video. Become the man whose presence relaxes the room and whose standards sharpen the air. Do the simple things so consistently that they become who you are. Then watch what happens when grounded magnetism meets intent, calibration meets boundary, and tension meets release. Women feel it. You will feel it. And you will never again need average advice, because you will have become the source,